Let's say China.
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 China. China.
There are no storm neighbors, and you can actually see Russia from land here in Alaska.
Go over to China.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Trump statement, tweeting out insults to Angela Merkel. What's he doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host.
Yes. Hello and welcome. I am James Andrews, and you are listening to So This Happened, the only news you need if your name is Pablo, Vincent, or Claude. It's Friday, the 28th of July, 2017, and today, you thought Donald Trump was just the president. But in fact, he is also a working artist when last night at an auction, a sketch of the Manhattan skyline done by Donald sold for almost $30,000. The description of the work in the program from the auction house reads as follows. The 11.5 by 9-inch work is nicely matted against gold and framed. Besides a light smudge and abrasion to one side of the image, the picture is in near fine condition. One art critic for The New Yorker described the drawing as, "It's neither good nor bad. It's curious. I don't get any pleasure from it, but it's intriguing." Well, let me describe it to you. It's sort of just go to Google and type in Donald Trump painting that sold at auction, because it really is quite hard to describe. It's sort of, if he had said that Barron Trump had drawn it a few years ago, you wouldn't have disbelieved him. $30,000. And I'm sure it'll look beautiful in the office of whoever bought it. They're presented hanging proudly above the desk, or perhaps in a corner, or if they have any sense, they'll just put it in a safe, and it might be worth a little bit more than $30,000 some point in the future. And you may have heard, but last night, or technically this morning at 1:30, the skinny bill that the Republicans put forward as their healthcare plan was struck down and defeated. The final vote went to John McCain, who in a sort of Roman emperor sort of way said no. And let's have a listen to how it went down.
Mr. McCain.
Okay, this doesn't actually make great listening, but what he did was he walked up and just sort of put his hand
Mr.
down
Peters.
and said, no. And there you hear this sort of smattering of applause that was led by Senator Elizabeth Warren, who sort of stood up and started clapping, and she looked over briefly at Chuck Schumer, who was there going, no, shut the fuck up, don't cheer, just stay cool. And one of the best moments was you could kind of look at the faces of Mitch McConnell and some of the other Republicans, and literally the color just drained from them when they realized that this is it, folks, that's it. They have failed to repeal and replace Obamacare. Because this truly is it. Many Republican senators have said that this is it. There is no next step. If this bill could not get passed, then that's it. Game over. And it was very clear that John McCain knew exactly that's what he was doing when he went up there and turned his thumb down and said no to, this healthcare bill. He was putting the final nail in the coffin of Trumpcare, or whatever you want to call it. Well, now the question is, what the hell are they going to do now? Are they going to do just as the president wants, let Obamacare fail, which will hurt millions of people? Or are they going to sit back and say, you know what? We've been elected by the people to make their lives better, and by God, that's what we should do. So let's get together and let's work on making the healthcare that we have right now as good as it can possibly be. Only time will tell, and I'm pretty sure Donald Trump isn't going to be happy with that. But at this point, there is very little else that can be done. And John McCain is really coming out of this as sort of the hero of the hour. This morning, Chuck Schumer gave a speech and really praised John McCain. Let's have a little listen to what he said.
Tonight was an amazing moment, and the credit goes to a lot of people, but at the top of the list are the three who showed amazing courage to resist the pressure and do what's good for the country. John McCain at the top of the list. He and I have been friends for a very long time, ever since the Gang of Eight, which we put together. And I have not seen a senator who speaks truth to power as strongly, as well, and as frequently as John McCain. The very same courage he showed as a naval aviator in Vietnam, he showed last night and has shown time and time again. He's just a wonderful man. I treasure his friendship and just the fact of knowing him. I've known a few great men in the Senate. I'd put Ted Kennedy in that category and Danny Inouye, and I'd put John McCain in that category too. And certainly not to be forgotten of equal praise are Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski. They were amazing. And women are in so many instances stronger than men. They brag less about it, but they are. And last night sort of proved that.
And then the hero of the hour sent an email out this morning. This was from John McCain, and the email said, "The vote last night presents the Senate with an opportunity to start fresh. It is now time to return to regular order with input from all of our members, Republicans and Democrats, and bring a bill to the floor of the Senate for amendment and debate." So what this looks like, and fingers crossed, but it looks like now the Republicans' bill has been beaten, and they know now that, okay, that's not going to happen. Repealing and replacing Obamacare is off the table for now. So let's all work together as Americans rather than Democrats and Republicans and build the best bill that we possibly can. And I am very hopeful that good will come out of this. If we can just keep Trump away from Twitter, which is very unlikely because already this morning he was on it. And Trump Vader is here. He's in the lobby. He's just having a gin and tonic. So he's going to come in just a moment. But I'm just going to read one of Donald Trump's tweets first. This is what he sent out this morning. And it suggests that he has absolutely no interest in a bipartisan coming together and that he just wants to change the rules so that he can win yet again. He tweeted this: "If Republicans are going to pass great future legislation in the Senate, they must immediately go to a 51-vote majority, not senseless 60. Even though parts of healthcare could pass at 51, some really good things need 60. So many great bills and budgets need 60 votes." So there, the president is suggesting that, wait a second, this isn't working. What's worked in the past? That's stupid. So let's just change it so that we don't need the Democrats to even be involved in the conversation. We can just do whatever we want and pass it. And that is in a completely different spirit to what we just saw John McCain email out this morning, where he's saying to his fellow senators, let's work together as Americans, not Republicans and Democrats. And then the president tweets, fuck that. Let's work together as Republicans, and the Democrats, nah, don't give them a vote. Let's just take away their vote so that we can pass whatever we want. Brilliant. Anyway, here's Trump Vader. Come on in. Yep. No, the door's open. Yep. Hello. How are you? Trump Vader is here. How are you doing? Have you had a good... Oh, you're mad. Oh, he's angry. He is very... I can see it. Are you shaking? Are you trembling with anger? Oh, he is. He's very mad. He downed his gin and tonic in one. And that's not something I see every day from him. He usually, sort of enjoys it, but not today. Just down the hatch in one. So you want to read your tweet? Okay, so here he is. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dark Lord of the GOP, Trump Vader.
3 Republicans and 48 Democrats let the American people down. As I said from the beginning, let Obamacare implode, then deal. Watch.
Wow, Trump Vader, are you really that big a bastard that you would just be fine with millions of people losing health coverage completely just so that something that you said months ago can prove real? You are. You're happy with that. Hey, if you're happy with that, you're happy with that, mate. Okay, unbelievable. Well, folks, he was here, and you know he needs his round of applause. It sort of gives his life purpose. So, Trump Vader... Oh, that is pathetic, mate. Yeah, that is just a polite applause because you were here. Wow, what a twat. And now I want to turn to a really sad story, but a story that I feel is important. This afternoon, Charlie Gard, the young child in Britain, passed away. Now, if you don't know the case of Charlie Gard and what this is all about, I will very briefly fill you in. Charlie was born with an extremely rare genetic condition that caused progressive brain damage and muscle weakness. He couldn't move his arms or legs, and he could only breathe with the assistance of a breathing tube. 6 months ago, the medical team that was treating Charlie Gard, after consulting numerous other experts, came to the conclusion that there was nothing they could do for this young child who was 11 months old when he died. So at this point he was only 6 months old, and their determination was that the humane thing to do was just to let Charlie pass away quietly. But there was no way to do that without the parents' permission, and his parents would not give him the permission. And to make things more complicated, there was an experimental medical procedure here in the US that they said might be able to help Charlie. Doctors in Britain said that that was futile, that it would just cause more suffering to this poor baby. So the Great Ormond Street Hospital, where Charlie was being treated, went to the courts, and they said, look, we have the best interest of this child at heart, and the humane thing to do is to allow this child to die, is to take him off life support and just let him pass away quietly. Well, his parents didn't agree with that, as I suspect any parent of a child would do. So a lengthy legal battle ensued, which ended yesterday when the High Court determined that Charlie be moved to a hospice and have his life support removed. Well, that happened, and today his parents announced that Charlie died, and they also feel that their final wish to have more time with their child was turned down, as the court said, we need to remove Charlie from life support and just let him pass peacefully away. The parents had wanted to keep him alive as long as possible. And this story, as tragic as it is, brings us to some very important questions. How much power does the court have over a parent's decision? And not only that, but how much power should a court have over a parent's decision? And this is one of those cases where you really don't like to talk about it because it is such a tragedy. This is an 11-month-old boy who passed away today. But the question is, were the courts right or were the parents right? Now, the courts said that Charlie, and not just the courts, but the doctors who were treating him, said that to keep him alive was just increasing his suffering, and the right thing, the humane thing to do, would be allow the child to just pass away slowly in his sleep. The parents, completely understandably, said, no, we want as much time with little Charlie as we can possibly have. He is our child, and we don't want to lose him. The question that's raised, though, and I don't have an answer for this, I'm just sort of putting it out there, but who is right in that situation? Is it the parents' choice that they want to spend more time with their child, so yes, they can spend as much time with their child no matter what the suffering of the child is? And that is at the crux of this. It's sort of, the doctors were saying the humane thing to do was to let Charlie pass away. His parents were saying, we want more time with him. Both are completely understandable arguments, and I don't know where I fall on it, and I suspect that unless you've been in that situation, you cannot honestly answer that question, because there's part of me saying, yes, you want to do the humane thing, let the child pass away peacefully. But at the same time, you're saying, but this is their child. If they want to spend more time with him, shouldn't they have the right to choose? Very difficult. And that's a bit of a bummer to end a week on. But I thought it was important, and I do want to just send our thoughts out to Charlie's parents. It's a horrible tragedy, and our condolences to them and their friends, anybody that's affected with the case. Anyway, it's been a great week. I've had fun chatting with you all, and we will do it again on Monday. And everyone have an absolutely spectacular weekend, and go get yourselves a cocktail. Bye.